I'm Corbett Wall with DVAuction, here with your feeder flash for Thursday, January the 16th, brought to you in part by Specialty Risk Insurance. They're here to help the cattlemen manage price risk one calf at a time. Go to your one-stop shop for all your crop and livestock insurance needs at specialtyrisk.ag. Planing out. We knew it was going to happen at some point, and we finally reached the price on these feeder cattle and calves, and with the board not keeping up. Of course, the board's been pretty friendly, but the board's down one day, up the next, and when it goes up, it's up $1 or $2. But these calves and yearlings have been going up $5 and $8 and $10 at a time, and when it's not keeping up, it just gets to the point where you can't give any more for them, and you can't protect yourself on them. But we finally got to the point where we're starting to plane out now. It's not a fire sale. We're not retreating that fast. We're not diving down or anything like that. We're just starting to plane out a little bit. We're starting to see trends in your sale barns that are steady, maybe a lower here and there at a few points, but it's kind of a healthy stop to these all-time record high prices, and we saw some new record highs that happened on Wednesday. I'll give you at the end of the report like I always do, but just starting to plane out a little bit. Talked to some buyers in the Midwest, and they said on Wednesday some of those middleweight cattle weighing in the 6s and 7s were dollars and dollars cheaper than they were just earlier in the week. Of course, that's what everybody's been going for, was those middleweight cattle, because some of your farmer feeders want to take them right on to feed, and then you've got backgrounders that want to take them to wheat and some stockpiled grass and things like that, or maybe even to hay feed them for the winter. But those are starting to drop off just a little bit, and like I said, it's not a total fail. We're not backing up that much, but just starting to plane out a little bit. Now we're thinking that next week, of course, we had reports that said the border was going to start opening on the 20th. It's not sounding like the border is going to open on the 20th. Maybe later in the week there, after the inauguration of President Trump, they may start opening back up, but we don't have any hard final rule on when that's going to start. But it at some point it is going to start, probably later this month. That is going to be some bearish pressure on the market. And when those cattle do come to cross the border, they're going to be quite a bit heavier than they were when we thought they were going to cross a couple months ago, when they stopped the border crossing there due to the screw worms. But those cattle will be weighing in the 6s and the 7s, not in the 4s and the 5s, because those cattle didn't go anywhere else. I mean, they're going across. They've been waiting to cross, and so we'll have to get through those heavier cattle. And they were saying that the border was going to open slow and on light runs, and I'm not sure why they said that. The border's either open or it's not open, but I assume once it gets open, we'll start crossing those cattle immediately. That is going to be bearish pressure, and it's going to be bearish news, more importantly, on the market, and then that could cause us to back up a little bit, but we'll have to work through some of those heavier cattle to get back down to those lighter stockers that we're used to crossing the border there. But it's just kind of easing up around a little bit. We knew it was going to happen at some point, and we finally got to that point. Let's talk about your board on Wednesday. February live cattle futures were up $1.12 at 198.52, which your latest 5-area feeding region live cattle weighted average was over 202 or 202.5 there. So it's not keeping up by any stretch of the imagination. April was up $1.17 at 199.32, and April's always our highest live cattle futures month there, and it's still about $3 back there of what's going on. Your back months on live cattle futures up 95 cents to up 132. January feeder cattle were up $1.12 at 275.22. March was up $1.60 at 269.80. Your back months on feeder cattle up 37 to up 162. Talking about your grains, March corn was up 4 1/4 cents a bushel at 478 3/4. March beans down 4 3/4 cents at 10.42 3/4. Hard red winter wheat for March down 3 1/4 cents a bushel at 557.5. Fat cattle trade has started to develop. And in the southern plains, which we don't usually see this earlier in the week, and I always say, why do packers want to buy cattle on a Tuesday or a Wednesday? Because they're short bought, and that's an opportunity to take advantage of them. But the southern plains has mostly already succumbed to steady money, so that's another reason why some of your feeder cattle buyers and even your backgrounders are kind of wooing up on their orders to buy those calves and yearlings. But Iowa sold 400 head on Wednesday, just 2,000 for the week, and the live price in Iowa was 203 to 205. We didn't see the 205.50 that we saw on Tuesday. Nebraska sold about 250 head. That's all they've sold so far this week, and that was at 322. And that's right in there tight with where they were selling. Their range from 320 to 325 a week ago. Kansas, 5,600 on a Wednesday. You never see that. They sold 5,600 head, 6,100 for the week, and the price was 201. Well, we had 201 last week. I thought we were going to keep gaining ground, but apparently we didn't gain any more ground there on Wednesday. And Texas sold about 1,050 head at 201. So that's another reason that we're starting to back up a little bit there when they're selling steady already middle of the week. It seems like they've just kind of given up on the higher market, but we did see some fat cattle auctions that sold really well. Sioux Falls Regional Livestock in Worthing, South Dakota had 1,600 head of slaughter cattle, including the cows and bulls and other classes of slaughter cattle. Conventional fat steers and heifers sold from 201 to 211. That was $5 to $10 higher than last week. Program cattle from 203 to 213. Another fat cattle auction at Glacial Lakes Livestock in Watertown, South Dakota. That about 950 head there. Good sales, sold $3 to $6 higher, with conventional fats from 198 to 203 and program cattle from 203 to 209. That fat Holstein steers from 165 to 175 and big fat fed cows from 130 to 138. Box beef cutout values were mixed again, but choice was up this time. Choice cuts up $1.16 at $334.14. Selects were down 67 after a huge run up, but sitting at $318.04, and that choice select spread continues to narrow here. Didn't, of course, on Wednesday, but it has been narrowing here the last week or two. But your slaughter up through the first 3 days of the week, your estimated cattle slaughter sitting at 366,000. That's 9,000 more than last week. 33,000 more than the same week a year ago. Of course, we were dealing with some extreme winter weather there a year ago this time. Talk about your punchy pick of the month contest. That's something we do here at the Feeder Flash every month. Everybody's enjoying it, and we have a good time with it. We look forward to it, and looking at those punchy picks that come in. If you get a punchy pick when you're out there messing with your cattle or doing chores, just email that pick to punchy@nationalbeefwire.com. You're automatically entered to win the grand prize every month, which is a big prize package, which includes all kinds of really cool swag from National Beef Wire, Feeder Flash, Beaver Feed Company, which has been a sponsor from the very beginning there on the punchy pick of the month in Beaver, Oklahoma, Beaver County Stockyards, of course, all of our friends there. And then Farapiece, the revolutionary product that is scientifically proven. I told you on our last visit how good it is on that test that they did on yearling feeder cattle. So it's surely something you want to get. And if you win the Punchy Pick of the Month contest, you get a whole case of that Farapiece, and it's sure worth its weight in gold right there, guys. Talk about Lynn's Heritage Angus. Their sales right here, finally. Been talking about it for the last couple of weeks. You guys are, when are we going to have that sale? It's here today on Thursday. Don't let time run out to get you a herd bull, guys. Buy one here. They're kind of having this sale kind of early in the sales season at Lynn's Heritage Angus. And they will keep that bull for you if you're not quite ready. They'll keep it there at their place until mid-April if you need to. If you're not going to turn that bull out for a while and you really don't have room for them, they will do that. Of course, you're buying free delivery. You're buying the the buyback program. Of course, they have a volume discount on that deal, but it's here today at 1 o'clock Central. If you're not going to be in Byers, Oklahoma, get on DVAuction.com. Check out the Lynn's Heritage Angus Bull Sale. Got about 140 of those bulls to sell. Talk about what else is going on. Limousine and Lim Flex have been concentrating on feed efficiency, improved marbling, superior yield grade, and calving ease. This industry wants these cattle bigger. It's one way to do it there with some Limousine and Lim Flex, but let Limousine and Lim Flex take you full circle. Go to NALF.org. Talk about your feeder cattle market, your real-time index on DV Auction. Late in the day on Wednesday, after all your sales are closed, your real-time index based on an 800-pound cash auction steer up through your middle 12 states, sitting at 278.91. That was back up 45 cents. It was down some at the end of Tuesday, but sitting up there really close to 279. And 280 was kind of been something we've been dreaming of there. But your latest CME cash feeder cattle index is 278.04. Coming to you here from Oklahoma City. Going to be working the Heritage Place racing horse sale here from Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. If you guys have made too much money in the cattle business, you want a good way to get rid of some of it, get on to DV Auction and check out the Heritage Place racehorse sale. You can buy you a racehorse there if you get approved. Some feeder cattle auctions that coming up later this week. St. Onge, South Dakota is having a good sale on Friday. They got about 3,000 head. They're going to have weigh-ups and calves and feeders there. You can check them out on DVAuction.com. Big sales on Wednesday. OKC West, El Reno, Oklahoma, 11,100 head this week. Biggest sale in the country this week. Had a really good sale. The feeder steers on Wednesday sold $2 to $5 lower. Now we saw that at Beaver County Stockyards on some of those feeder steers. It was a little bit lower, and they're just woeing up the bids here a little bit. The feeder heifers were still $3 to $6 higher. It looks like they're a little bit price conscious there. And then calves on Tuesday sold $10 to $15 higher. Those turnout calves, there's still a lot of wheat in the country. Guys are still wanting those calves to turn out. So really good sale there at El Reno, Oklahoma this week. Now Monday, they always sell cows and bulls, mostly the weigh-ups on Mondays, but this coming Monday, the 20th, they're going to have a big dispersal, guys. Starting at noon, they've got 350 head dispersal there of really, really top quality reputation replacements there from Homer Ryan in Frederick, Oklahoma. He's selling out, guys. It's a closed herd, so you can buy there with no fear at all. 50 head of bred heifers, 120 head of young cows, bred cows 3 to 4 years old, 105 head of 5 to 6 year old bred cows off his herd, and then 75 head of 7 and 8 year old older good cows there. And like I said, it's a closed herd, mostly Gardner sired there, and really, really top quality. Then they've got another pretty good slug of breeding bulls to sell off there, including some Gardner bulls. So don't miss out on that replacement special on Monday at El Reno at OKC West. You can watch and bid that sale right there on DVAuction.com. Big sale in Bassett, Nebraska. Bassett Livestock Auction had 9,000 head on Wednesday. And here we go. About the most premium type sale we have in the Northern Plains, and the market was unevenly steady compared to a week ago. So it's just woeing up a little bit here. Bassett was your NationalBeefWire stick-out sale of the day. Check out this automated market report from Cattle Market Central on your best tested weights, and check out these weighted average prices. They're so impressive. 1,197 head of 5-weight steers in Bassett, average 546 pounds, with a weighted average price on all of them of $367.98, with an average weight nearly 5.5. Wow. 2,638 head of 6-weight steers in Bassett, average 649 at 331.83. 2,056 head of 7-weight steers, average 747 at 297.39. My goodness, these are stick-out sales, guys. 664 head of 8-weight feeder steers in Bassett, averaged 850 pounds at 281.26. Look at the heifers on the best tested groups, 397 head. 4-weight heifers averaged 458 at 364.05 on the weighted average price. 491 head of the 5-weight heifers averaged 543 at 335.06. And 862 head of 6-weight heifers. Notice not nearly as many heifers as there was steers. 6-weight heifers averaged 641 at 302.71. Very good sale there at Bassett Livestock Auction. Of course, they're going to follow up here later with some stick-out sales. But some individual quotes from all around the circuit that were very impressive. How about Creston Livestock Auction in Creston, Iowa? That's south central Iowa. They sell 78 feeder steers, weigh 856 at 267.50. How about Buffalo, Wyoming? Buffalo Livestock Auction sells 79 light steer calves, weigh 491 at 397.50. Very impressive there. Torrington Livestock Markets in Torrington, Wyoming sells 72 steer calves that weigh 553 at 371, weighing over 5.5, guys. That's impressive. How about Hub City Livestock in Aberdeen, South Dakota? They sell 60 big steers, weighed 942 at 270.5. But the most impressive quotes, and I've got to give you all of them, guys. If the market's going to continue to recede, these may be the highest quotes that we see this whole rally. It is your Macrison, no BS, top quotes for the day. All come out of Bassett Livestock Auction. Check these out, and we might want to remember these. 76 steers weigh 810 pounds in Bassett at 293. How about 124 head, 519 pound steers bring 394. And the biggest that I saw out of Bassett with their outstanding quotes, and this is the biggest one that I've seen through the whole rally, 236 head of steer calves, weighed 605 and bring 364. And that's your feeder flash for Thursday.